Okay, today's video we're going to have a look at ADAS calibration. So some of the different systems that we see within ADAS and how they're calibrated. So Christian, we've got some different systems here that we're seeing today.
Absolutely.
Maybe you could just give us a quick rundown on what they are and what system are they and what we need to do to calibrate those.
Absolutely. Hello from my side as well. Great to be here. So like Daniel said before, we will gonna start and show you now the most important components of the ADAS system and how to do the calibration. We start directly here on the right hand side. This is the so-called active lane assist. The active lane assist works with the front camera. Daniel is showing that to us. So it's a front camera which is installed into the windshield. Yeah, and this is recording the street basically. It needs to be calibrated. Then let's move on. Here in the middle is actually not a real ADAS system, but it's a supporting function for different ADAS systems. We're speaking here of the LiDAR. And the LiDAR needs as well to be calibrated in order to record the street correctly. And for what system? The LiDAR could be a big support or a big help. For example, for adaptive cruise control, for the ACC system. So what do we have here? Instead of a camera or LiDAR system, we have a real radar which is detecting the street way in front of the car.
So obviously the vehicle is interpreting the signals that it would see from these systems. So whether it's the radar, whether it's the LiDAR or the camera, it's expecting whether it sees a vehicle in front or a person that it's going to be in a certain parameter. So obviously if the calibration is out, it's
out of range.
It's going to interpret those signals incorrectly.
Absolutely.
So it might cause some accidents and things like that.
Absolutely. In the best case, the system doesn't work anymore. In the worst case, the system thinks it is still working, but detects, for example, the wrong side, or instead of the street, the sky, or whatever. So it is absolutely important to do the calibration.
And that's what we've seen in reality quite often, is brackets being bent, holding radars.
Yeah.
Things like the cameras and LiDARs are often in the windshields. And we're seeing when windshields have been installed incorrectly or sometimes using
the wrong windshields.
The wrong windshields, or even aftermarket windshields as opposed to genuine, even that alone causes some problems.
Absolutely. So you find all this information in the e-learning course as well. Exactly what you said right now, it's all in the course.
And we will be making more and more videos that go into the detail of each of these systems.
Absolutely.
But what we're also showing is some of the things that, how these systems are being calibrated, so that when a technician installs a new windscreen and it doesn't work, it gives them some idea of what needs to be done in order to get the system repairing again.
An important point here to add is that we designed the calibration process here on the one hand, like on the real car, but we have added a few more things which will be normally automatically done by the diagnostic tester. But our goal here is to give the student the best understanding. He should know and understand what the automatic system is doing while the calibration process. This is why the student becomes the diagnostic tester in that case.
So if we switch to our software now and have a look at this system here, the camera-based system, so we can see this is within our e-learning software, and it's giving you an idea. This is the interface of the lane assistance
Absolutely.
system.
This is basically our calibration diagnostic tool, what we have opened here. You see it here from the driver positioning and what the camera is seeing. And of course, we have a very nice view on the lane, and in that case, the system works pretty well. So in order to achieve that situation, that it works pretty well, we need to do the calibration.
Of course, and you can see here on the screen, the system is really looking for those white lines. You can see how the white lines are a little bit more highlighted within the picture there. And when the system does go over the white lines, it brings up the red warning. And so that's giving you an idea of the key features required from this system.
Absolutely. So I would say just let's jump to the calibration. And this is perfect for the system, how easy you can do it here. So we have the setup basically, you have shown that before, and now we jump to the calibration system.
So this is the camera in front of the calibration target here.
We can zoom out. So this is what normally the system or the automatic diagnostic tester would do automatically. And like Daniel said, we see now our calibration target, which is the same target which is used in the workshop, just much smaller.
So one of the advantages here is in the workshop or at the college, wherever you're training this, obviously you need the vehicles that have these systems on board. And so this is a way to make it a little bit more accessible to more people to understand how the calibration is done.
Absolutely. And this is exactly, each student can do that on his desktop. And as I said before, we have done a lot of functions manually, which you normally, or where the system normally would run through automatically. So one very important point is the recognition of the light. So how much light is going into the camera. And as you see here, nothing is simulated, that's all in real time. But we have right now a problem that the camera cannot interpret exactly, so Daniel is moving in there. There you see it can't really understand the picture because there's too less light. So what we have to do now, we have to increase the light or the sensitivity which comes into the camera. And there we see now suddenly how it detects the calibration target now in the filter as well. And now what we have to do basically, this is what the system would do automatically too. We have now to put the rectangle into the white box. And this is exactly what we do here. So now we have to zoom in a little bit. There you see, so this would normally work completely automatically. Here we go. So, and there we see now we are calibrated. So this is basically what has happened now. The camera has now saved that, still depending on the light a little bit, but the camera has now saved these adjustments regarding the different angles inside the camera.
So once it's calibrated, then that would be saved and it's ready to go.
Absolutely. Then you are ready to go back on the street. You will get a protocol and everything is fine.
Okay. So the next system that we see here, LiDAR, is using a different type of calibration target.
That's completely different because we are using here a light-depending system.
Okay.
So this is about, this system recognizes the reflection or not reflection of the laser light which is sending out.
Okay. So there's a different type of interface that we would use here as well?
Absolutely. So we directly jump here into our LiDAR monitor. And as we see here, we see the clear front of the LiDAR of the car.
And you can't see that very well from the camera where the camera is right